Hey folks, hello, hello. I assume everyone heard the news already, which is very sad. But I wanted to come on and follow the games. You know, um, I don't really want to talk about it too much, but obviously you guys are welcome to. Um, but yeah, very sad. Real bummer. I wasn't that close with him or anything, but I'd met him, I hung out with him multiple times, and yeah, he was just like a great person, like very authentic, very like I don't know anyone that talked to him. I'd be curious if anyone ever met him in chat. Like anyone that talked to him, like he was just immediately always very genuine and and real and just yeah, pleasure to talk to. It's a real loss, you know. Yeah, I don't know if the players knew because the news basically was released like as most players were already past the security, so there wouldn't be, they wouldn't have access to the internet or anything like that. Um, if a player was maybe late or something, then they might have heard on the way in. I'm not sure. I hope they didn't find out. I can't imagine having to play a chess game right now. So yeah, I hope they didn't know. Yeah, I was watching Hikaru's stream for quite a bit, and yeah, he seemed very destroyed by this, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a real tragedy. I mean, I don't know. I don't think we really know what happened yet, but like, it's obviously like it's just horrible. You know. Yeah, I was watching Bortnick's stream as well. I mean, I can't believe it. Yeah, yeah, I feel okay. Earlier, I didn't feel like streaming. I didn't think I was gonna stream today, but then, um, I decided like it's probably better to do a. I mean, honestly, just like kind of like not like a tribute or anything, but I mean, Danya loved chess, so I feel like he would actually be sad if like no one followed the U.S. Championship, today. I feel like he was that kind of guy. We were like he would be sad that he distracted from U.S. champs. Hey Joel, hey. I think maybe I'll like write something like on my blog or something because I did have some thoughts on the whole thing. Um, but yeah, I mean I don't know. Thing is like we don't really know what happened, and it kind of like it's it's really sad either way, but it it's hard to know how to react, because it's just still kind of shocking. And you guys can say whatever you want in the chat. I don't really care. I'm not gonna like, I don't think I'm gonna be modding anything. Just say, you can say whatever. People might not like what you have to say, but I don't, it's just words. People can look away if they don't like the text. I did play him once in a classical game. Maybe I'll make a video on that game because we played in the Spice Cup here in St. Louis, and he won. Very nice game. I've always thought that was a really interesting game, so maybe I'll share that one. Um, and we definitely played Blitz a couple times, but I don't remember if it was in a tournament or just more casual setting. Yeah, I was watching Hikaru stream and getting emotional. Chat, it was unexpected for me. Oh, sorry, game's not updating, huh? My bad. Okay, it's like this, and I guess Fabi thinking. I don't know. Has anyone been watching the St. Louis stream for the U.S. Championship? Because they have the confessional booth actually, so maybe maybe if the players knew, maybe one of them would have used the confessional to talk about it. I don't know. I assume that didn't happen. I mean, I've been checking Twitter. I feel like if that happened, they would have posted it. But I feel like that would have happened, right? Like if Fabi or someone like that heard about it, they would have maybe said something. I'm not sure. I don't know. Yeah, he did, Charlie. He did, which was really impressive. Like the blindfold bullet was genuinely very impressive. Yeah. No, the dude was amazing as like player, commentator, everything. I'm not sure, Bed Colin. They might, the players get a few minutes before the interview, so they might learn in between. Uh, I would imagine I would probably tell them before I do the interview. If I was me. So I would imagine they probably mentioned it to them before the. I mean, I don't know. Have any? No games have finished, right? So I don't. There haven't been any interviews yet. So I guess we don't. I guess we don't know, huh? No. Actually, it's quite touching to see how many fans, I mean, are affected by the whole thing. Like, um, yeah, I don't know if I would have expected that, but it's nice to see. Yeah, book club exactly. Actually, I was thinking today. I mean, now it might be hard to judge, but I feel like he was actually like world's most popular commentator in chess. If you polled every chess fan to pick one name, I like whenever I have seen posts like that on Reddit, I feel like his name comes up more than anyone else's. Um, so yeah, yeah, I feel like he was. I mean, yeah, number one commentator in the world. Renzi, when did that happen? What was what was this? Was that on a stream? We can talk about the chess a little bit. I mean, again, I feel like actually that's one of the things I always just like appreciated about Danya so much is just how obvious it was how much he loved chess. I mean, you don't write a chess book at 14 without having a distinct love for the game. You know, I mean, crazy. I don't really have a lot to say about the position. White is a little bit better, and Fabi's gonna try to win by converting this endgame. Ray, who's playing with the black pieces, is going to do his best to not let that happen. The structure looks pretty weak for black because of like the doubled and isolated pawns, but this is something black accepted in the opening, and it's a structure that looks uglier than it is perhaps, because it's kind of hard to break through for white. But that said, it's still generally play for 2 results, so pretty decent chances for Fabi to convert this endgame. Yeah, Danya's passion for chess, right? It was just like, I mean, immense. Like, he knew games, he studied the classics, and he always just had like, it was just clear he had so much respect for chess players. Probably because he just loved the game so much. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he knew so much history because he did so much reading and studying. Rook b1. Probably intending to go b4. Which makes sense. Pawn break to try and open up your pieces. Try to get some target. Yeah, did anyone watch one of his recent streams? People were talking about it on Reddit, but I didn't see like any clips or anything like that. I was curious, just like, I don't know, what were you guys' impressions of it? Yeah, it's a tough situation for the tournament. I mean, they can't really, they can't really pause the tournament. I mean, they would, I think, if something happened to one of the players, maybe. But yeah, yeah, it must be so hard for to kind of have to commentate through. Very sad. Um, so b6. Ray says, go ahead and play b4. Fabi says, oh, actually, I was just kidding. Maybe I'll play b4 later. I'm going to go knight c1 for now. Really subtle endgame, I gotta say. I can't pretend I would be able to handle this one with you. It was like, okay, white is kind of allowing black to play c5 and saying he's happy with that. I'm not sure why exactly. Also, he's offering a pawn, but I think this is a trap. I think if you take this one, then white slides the rook over, and the rook on h5 is misplaced. Well, it's not clear if the players know about it, because the news kind of broke right at the last second, right before the round. Um, but yeah, no, I hope the players don't know, because it would be very very tough on them. Yeah, hey Lily. Yeah, very sad. Yeah, dark day. Really dark. God, I hope the players don't know the news. It would be so impossible to play right now. Okay, 92 from Fabi. But how does he plan on improving his position from here? It's not so clear. He's tied down to one of these pawns. Yeah, I still honestly can't like. I feel like it truly hasn't hit me even. Charlie, you're today's your answering machine. Your Charlie GPT for today. I mean, it's nice to see just how beloved he was, which I mean, I didn't know the extent, but there's all these people like posting stuff, and I was like, wow, I didn't even know. I didn't even know they were so affected by it. So that's nice that others like feel how big of a loss this is. Like he was kind of one of a kind, honestly. I guess we all are, in a way. Well, I'm not saying much. My eval here is actually that white is just slightly better in this endgame. Because it's hard for him to break through. There's no actually obvious break for white that improves his position. The black structure looks ugly, but it's hard for white to attack it concretely. So Fabi's maneuvering around, just basically trying to provoke Ray into somehow weakening himself further, but seems like Ray is defending very, very well so far. So we'll see from the next couple moves if Fabi comes up with some kind of ingenious plan. Here he just played rook bh1, which is a little confusing. Like, what's the follow-up here? Which piece is he trying? Like, his pieces are kind of tied down to the h pawn, but like, which piece is he trying to free up with this move? It's not really clear. If I was Ray, I would probably just move back and forth and ask him what the plan is, like bishop b6 here. Yeah, earlier he could have pushed for b4, but he decided not to. So clearly that doesn't seem to be something that's so great for white here. Yeah, Velon. It's very sad. No, I mean on the playing floor there's no news. There's no internet for the players. There's hardly any talking until the round starts. So yeah. Somehow I found out before the game. I'm not gonna start. Whispering to others during the round. No apparent. No, I mean chess is strictly a no talking sport during the game. No talking. So I don't think the players know, just because it like the news broke, it was like 15 minutes before the round. And that's generally when players are like entering the building to get scanned and stuff. So, unless they were like right on their social media right before the round, they wouldn't have seen. But they might have been. So if a player showed up 2 minutes before the round and they were on their phone, then they probably would have seen it. But I think most haven't. I hope most haven't. Yeah, I really feel for the Charlotte folks. I mean, they must all just be absolutely devastated. It's really sad for them. I saw Jim. I saw him. Yeah, Hayden. I think if anything happened to the players here, they would for sure uh, cancel the round. Okay, Fabi continues to inch. Next, I think he wants rook h2. Then maybe rook g3. Yeah, Grant is here, by the way. Grant is one of the arbiters here. I just saw him yesterday. So, yeah, I'm sure he's really broken up about it. Yeah, Jorg, that's what we've been trying to figure out. I mean, Fabi, he put the rook here on purpose, so he just played here. I'm guessing if we keep watching this game, he'll show us the idea. Kind of like, when you're watching a movie and then someone shows up, and then the person next to you asks like, "Oh, who is that person?" But like you also don't know because it's like your first time watching the movie, and you're like, we're not supposed to know yet. We're not supposed to know yet. So I feel like that's all of us watching this game right now. It's like we don't really know what the plan is. Maybe here and here, I'm not sure, but we'll see. Yeah, Caro, I would say so. We were definitely very friendly with one another. I didn't see him that much, sadly, because I just have seen him at a few tournaments, a few events. Does Fabi prefer having only one set of rooks on the board? We're not supposed to know yet. Like, I guess we'll find out if he plays rook g3 next move. If yes, then we'll know that he wants to trade rooks. Or what often happens in endgames is you first play with both rooks, and then if you have a hard time breaking through, you try trading off a pair of rooks and see if that helps you break through. Maybe it frees your position somehow. Maybe trading both pair of rooks. But I don't think he will trade both pairs. I think he'll just trade one with this move. And then maybe use the other one to try to eventually get b4 in. But yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, the players will get more time after their 40th move. They're on move 36, so Ray will definitely make the time control. He's got 30-second increment as well. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how Fabi tries to squeeze this one out. Okay, Levon Aronian against Sam Shanklin is like very, very interesting endgame. So maybe we can just take a look at this one. Sharp play. Okay, takes, and Levon just pushed a7. Well, bishop d6 is there. And then maybe he'll just recapture. I think bishop d6 black can still play. But then, yeah, so played, and then I'm not sure if white has an immediate way in. At least I don't see one, but Levon, of course, is pretty brilliant, so maybe he has some way to get in, like bishop b5, bishop c6. So bishop b5, there was still bishop b7, maybe was the response. So, okay, he just takes on d4. So I guess that means there is no direct way to win, but he still has a very annoying plan of pushing his c-pawn. Yeah, bishop d7, maybe bishop d5 at the end, Jake? Yeah. But it feels like should be good for white because it's like rook for 2 pieces. And he has this very strong outside passer. And it's not like he has 1 rook and it's like the pawn is blockaded, but like he has 2 rooks and black's rook is stuck behind this pawn. So his rooks are very active. So it looks like Levon has very good chances here. Bishop c4, bishop d5, yeah. So king f8. King f2. Now he's threatening rook b8. No, because black can take with the rook. Well, if you take with the rook and then with the bishop, there's rook a8. If you take with the bishop and then with the rook, then the knight hangs on g3 at the end. It's good, Hayden. It was good. Very good book. There's not many positional puzzle books out there. So, it's good. Wait, why not rook b8 here? Why is it a draw? Okay, just go c4. I mean, maybe it's just like not much for white. Yeah. I mean, it's equal, but I didn't think that was necessarily a draw. I'm definitely thinking this is much better for white. Maybe winning. Because a-pawn feels very strong. So I kind of expect Levon to convert here. I think pawn was still on c2, chess kudo, but otherwise, yes. With the pawn on c4, that would be, I think that would be an issue. Okay, rook g1. That's a better way to try to take back the two pieces. Twitch and YouTube chat asked, why is rook g1 bad at the same time? I don't know. Why would it be bad? I don't like that, guys. If you have a move you want to suggest, you should suggest it rather than assuming there's something wrong with it just because you like it. Maybe it's a good move. Maybe you're about to play the move of Levon Aronian, former #2 player in the world. we don't really know moves are good or bad until they until we analyze them. So have faith in yourselves. My question would be why Levon didn't play Rook G1 earlier, because this does look like a very nice idea. He started with C4, but yeah, I don't see why he couldn't have played Rook G1 here. Okay, Bishop B7. But starting to look lost for black. He takes twice on G3. King C7, King F4. King B6, King E5. You take on A7. White can trade rooks and take on E6. You can also bring the king up to F4 and G5 and then try to take the G pawn. So take, king C7, king F4, king B6, king G5, rook A7, king A7, king G6, king B6, king takes G7, king A5, king F6, king B4, king takes E6, king C3, C5, king takes D3, D5, king D4, C6, bishop C8 check. King E7. That looks good for white. King D4, D6. Oh, C5 check, thank you. So black can't even take on A7. Okay, I was more just interested in the bishop endgame, but I think bishop endgame is very promising for white, but... So king B6, king E5. Black moves the rook somewhere. Okay, starts with C5. So it doesn't even let the king get to B6. Maybe this is even better. Okay, so it takes king C7, king F4, rook A8 check, king E5, bishop A8. Feels winning for white. Feels like it should be winning. Rook G1. I think it's going to be winning for Levon. Fabio versus Ray. The enigma continues. Because we thought Fabio was going to play rook G3, but instead he goes knight G3. Okay, but then what's the plan? Yeah, Fabi spent a bit of time on knight G3. But now what does he want? We still don't know. Because Ray just sits. He just goes bishop c8. But Jörg, there's many cases where there's multiple good moves in a position. So just because your move wasn't played doesn't mean that it's necessarily a blunder or anything. I just think it's, it's a kind of pessimistic approach, right? I think if you want to succeed as a chess player, generally you have to start with the assumption that your ideas are good versus the other way around. Yes, Matthias, yes, we saw the news. Andy also a very interesting endgame against Hans. Which looks nice for white, but yeah, looks nice for white, I guess, because you have this C pawn that's eventually hitting C7, and then you can create kind of a second target here. So the way you try to win this is you try to tie black's pieces down to the C8 square, and then you also try to attack a second target on the other side of the board. So I don't know, bishop f5 here, queen c7, he pushes e4 and he has f5 check. So here, it's, black can't really stop c7. So looking pretty good for Andy. Yeah, Dr. K, yeah, I mean, it's pretty heartbreaking. Yeah, principle of two weaknesses. Okay, here. Maybe he has other moves, but to me this one makes the most sense. Keeping the c pawn and e4. Without queens, it would be much more drawish, but it would be hard to say objective evaluation. But it's not really about knowing whether it would be a win or a draw without queens. I think the more important thing to understand is that white wants to keep queens on the board, being the stronger side. Black wants to trade queens, hence queen e6. So here, if it was a very easy win with queen takes e6, then you would definitely consider trading queens. But if it's in any way unclear, in general, it's going to be a lot more practical to just keep the queens on the board. Then you have an extra heavy piece, to target. And then you can imagine, something like that. c7, c8, queen takes, queen f6. Hey, Sam. Good to see you. I'm okay. I mean, it's kind of shell-shocking, Yeah, of course, CJ. Okay, Andy thinking. Fabi. Whoa. Ray just went ham. Interesting. Will this be enough for black? Wow, really interesting exchange sacrifice. So king f2 I'm expecting. And then black takes twice on f4. And they've made time control, so they're doing another 30 minutes here. But bishop takes f4, defends this one, and then rook e1, he'll go bishop e6 to kind of block the invasion. And but doesn't white get g3 f4? I'm skeptical because white can go g3, f4, rook h1. It seems like pick up the h pawn. And then if he can get this one, then he comes to rook h5, he gets this one. Yeah, I'm not really sure if this is good for Ray. And he didn't have to do this. White went rook g1, so Fabi wasn't like... wasn't really threatening anything. I just wondered if he misevaluated or miscalculated something. Yeah, hard to say. Oh, who's posting clips? Oh, I see. Oh, looks like Levon probably won. So we can watch last couple moves here. You guys think it's holdable? White has a plan to come and... Or we can come this way and this way. Yeah, king c3 played, nice. Okay, f5. Excellent. Okay, it comes back this way now. Or I guess he's coming this way. And here and here. King c7, bishop b7, then you trade. King f3 and you win this one. Yeah, should be winning. Whoa. What happened? Well, here, e5 takes, and Sam resigned. King takes here, and pawn is just promoting. So Levon, 5 out of 8. Fabi here has 5 out of 7, and he found this g3. And Ray he's been spending some time, so I don't know if Ray fully estimated this one. Because Rook h1 is coming, and this is a problem. So Fabi, I think, winning this one. And he's still thinking on this position. Yeah, I thought he's just going to keep the queens on the board, but maybe it's not so easy. Because if it was, he would have played much faster. Queen a6, I don't know. I wasn't looking at this one just because it felt greedy. But maybe it's a thought as well. Queen a6, bishop b4. Yeah, I think that's a good point. And then you can't really hold on to your c-pawn. Yeah. I'm sorry, Katu. Very sad day. Yeah, the longer he thinks here, the more he might be willing to trade queens. He might convince himself that it's a winning endgame. I don't know, maybe it is, but you're always skeptical with the opposite color bishops, even 2 pawns up, that you'll be able to break through. It could very well be winning. Okay, Fabi. Fabi, we're expecting f4 here. Maybe rook h1 first, actually. Oh, goes f4. F4, I thought maybe black can drop back. But anyways, white can go rook h5 and bishop takes f5. Oh, they told the players. They said that in the interview? Dang. Yeah, I wonder why they told them. Yeah, I would have tried to avoid telling them if I could. I don't know what happened though. Hmm. Yeah, it seems like either tell the players and postpone the round or don't tell the players. Oh, Andy did trade. Andy did trade. takes on f5. That makes sense. Normally you're not really supposed to trade pawns when you're trying to win, but this kind of gives white more scope, it would seem. Poor Sam. I mean, Sam Shanklin probably knew Danya for many years. So c5. So this is Ray's ideas to get counterplay with the bishop pair. Bishop c3. So now if takes here. Not so sure. Because rook is covering a6 square. Yeah, I don't. I think either they should have not told the players or told the players and then postponed the round to tomorrow. I mean, I don't really have the details, but I mean, there's a rest day tomorrow, so they could just play the round tomorrow. I don't, I don't know. I mean, there's so much that goes into the planning of the tournament, the stream, the commentary, all this stuff. Like, and they had to make the decision like literally last second, right? The news broke like as players are getting checked into the tournament, basically. So maybe they could have postponed it. I mean, but someone had to make like executive decision to do that. It's not so easy. But they have the rest day tomorrow. I don't know. I don't really have the details. I don't know why they had to tell the players. It doesn't seem right. Maybe some players knew about it on their own already, and so they, I don't know. I don't know, it's weird. Yeah, very hard to judge this one. Because okay, steps out of the way of d4 check, but I think d4 will come anyway. Because he has this easy plan to win this pawn, but of course whenever he takes, he's giving up b3, which would give black two connected passers. So very difficult endgame. But maybe he has some g4 f5 ideas. You know, it's hard to. Maybe not, but I expect d4 here, and seems like black is holding on if I had to guess, but I don't know. Okay, guys, I'll probably wrap it up here. I'm not really saying much anymore, but yeah, I'll probably write something about Danya, because I do feel like he was a very, very, very special person and deserves to be remembered. So I guess I'll try to do my part. But yeah, sorry folks, rough day, real heavy. But yeah, hope everyone's all right. Thanks everyone for all the very kind messages you guys wrote. Definitely made me feel better to come on here. Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's just gonna sting for a while, guys. It's gonna smart for a while. It's gonna really smart. Yeah. Okay, guys. So, well, tomorrow rest day for US champs. So, probably no stream tomorrow. But I hope to be back Wednesday. Wednesday we'll have round 9. Just wrap things up here. So Fabi, I mean, he's gonna try to convert. I do think Ray's holding here because it feels like he's stable enough. he's got this kind of pressure on b3 that I don't quite see how white breaks through. But if he does, then kudos to him. Fabi, still one of the absolute best. Andy against Hans, also very interesting endgame. Feel bad leaving these endgames, but yeah, here Andy has real chances to just run his king over and try to win. So classic principle of two weaknesses here. Hans trying really hard to hold it. But yeah, Wesley actually is currently in first place with 5.5. But Fabi is, of course, very likely to get at least half point. So I guess going into round 9 should be Fabi and Wesley leading and Levon half point behind. Hans really needs to hold this one to keep his chances alive, but he might be point behind if he saves. On the women's side, Alice won her game. She's actually first and only winner so far, and she was in the clear lead. So Alice, actually, good for her, leading U.S. Women's Championship right now. Maybe by a full point after this round. Yeah, she's going to be leading by a full point. So great chances for Alice to win her first U.S. Women's Championship. Huge achievement if she manages to do that. But she beat Tadev today, and yeah, now she has 6 out of 8. 3 rounds left to play. But okay, she'll still have to play Anna Zatonsky and the other Anna, so. All right, a lot of chess left to go. Okay, folks. Yeah, sorry about today. Take care of yourselves. And yeah, thanks for tuning in and saying hi. It's nice to have the community, so hopefully I'll see you all next time. Alrighty, y'all. All the best.